Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. Bright Ideas Paper Publishing came out with a new coloring book. My favorite. It is all lines, so we don't have the dots. We don't have the spirals. These are all lines. They are a little bit different than one-line coloring books that we may already have. And I'll show you what those differences are. So this is the front cover and the back cover. There are a number of different categories in this book. We have famous places, animals, flowers, romantic film posters, and retro vehicles. And I did color one out of each of these categories so we can kind of see what they look like. Yes, I was having a fun time with this book. So let's take a look inside. Now this is another one that is under the Jennifer Rawling name. We have Jennifer Rawling or Husky Wannafly. Those are the two companies that publish coloring books under the Bright Ideas Paper Publishing. So that's the publishing company, but we do have a couple of different, would you say, illustrators, companies, what have you, underneath that publishing company. So, title page. We do have a page here that shows their other books. So we have a number of books under the One Color Dots and Lines series, and then the Dots and Lines Spiral series. And I believe I showed all of these on my channel. So they will all be in my flip throughs playlist. Then we have our nameplate page. And they always have a why you will love this book and some notes. Kind of some pens and markers that would work good in this book. Colors that work well. Typically dark colors. You would not want to use like a bright yellow. Any pale colors just don't show up as well. And you can't make the picture out as well. That's basically the only thing when it comes to coloring these in. Otherwise, yeah, pretty much anything goes. So here is the first image, and this is from the famous places. So we have the Eiffel Tower. Now, the couple of things that are different in this lines book versus, say, a Sun Life drawing or a Kira Sneva book, you're going to notice there's a lot of little humps and bumps. Let me zoom in a little. A lot of little humps and bumps in their lines rather than just varying widths, right? But with those little humps and bumps, if you will, makes them very, or I should say, makes them much more detailed of a picture. Just like when we're doing our spirals or our dots, the smaller the dots, the more detailed the picture, the less pixelated, right? And the spirals too, the closer the spirals are together, the more detailed that picture looks. Well, same with these lines book, this one in particular, when you have these wiggles, these humps and bumps, I don't think there's a technical name for it, makes them more detailed. Little bit more difficult to color, but not, not bad. The other thing that is different in this book, the other lines book, we do just have lines that go across, right, that we color. This particular one is one line that continues all the way up the book. So what I mean is you start down here and you color across. Then when you get to the other side, it loops around and comes back. Then when you get to this side, you loop around and come back and so forth. So it is not just all single lines that go across. It is one continuous line that is looping back and forth. So kind of like a spiral line that just keeps going and going. Kind of the same principle, but to me these are much easier. You just have one line that continues up the page. Or if you start at the top, I of course color this way. So to me this is the top. So yeah, I started there. Typically what I did when I colored these is I colored a number of the ends here. Then because I like coloring down, I would color down and then come here, color this down. And I would do a few of these at a time and come down. Now it depends upon what you're coloring with. If you're going to get marks, like if you're using maybe alcohol marker or whatever. With these gel pens, these are again the Divical dual metallic. I didn't get any marks where I left off, so I could go ahead and do that. You may not be able to. You may only be able to do one line at a time. But that's why I would do like maybe 4 lines or 6 lines at a time. Just kept me from having to shift the book back and forth quite as much. So again, that is the only difference, or I should say those are the 2 differences that I noticed in this book versus, let me zoom out a little more, versus our other one-line books that we're used to seeing. So doesn't really pay to do a complete flip through. These are all of the, well, I guess I will. Shows you a number, or you have a number of different pictures for places. Then we come to animals. And again, a little bit more difficult because all of the squiggles in the lines, but does that not come out gorgeous? I loved this picture when I got done with it. Oh my gosh. This is with the black dual metallic, so you do see the black and the red in it. So yes, I thought that was stunning. Again, you can see the amount of detail in these pictures, and that's just with coloring one line up the page. So then we have a number of animal pictures. We can kind of tell that's going to be probably a zebra. Not sure. I can see some ears up there. Definitely not sure. Now this one doesn't have a lot of the humps and bumps. And then we get to the next category, which is flowers. Isn't that gorgeous? We have our beautiful lily. So then we have a number of flowers. I love how they split this out into categories. Isn't that kind of neat? You can kind of make out some of the flowers. Now I know some of these lines, dots, and spirals drives some people's eyes bananas, and you can't do these, but there are many of us who love these. When I first seen this title, Romantic Posters, this is the very first picture I thought of before I even started coloring it, and before I even seen the back cover, is Titanic. Of course. So we have the name down here, and then we have our Titanic picture. Gorgeous. Again, lots of detail. So then we have a number of romantic posters. Again, can't really make them out. Some of them have more of the little zigs and zags in the lines than others. If there are words or letters in that particular picture, of course, you're going to have more humps and bumps in it to be able to read that word better. Then we come to the last category, which is retro vehicles. Now, to me, this is not a vehicle. But again, look at the detail. This one had a lot of humps and bumps. Took me quite a while to, well, I shouldn't say quite a while, but when I started this, I'm like, what the heck? But then I started seeing the spokes of the bicycle, but yet I'm thinking, a bicycle is not a retro vehicle. But it is an old-fashioned bike. You can see the seat here even with the springs underneath. And then our big basket of flowers. Isn't that awesome? We have the white wall tire. Oh, so cool. Love, love, love this book. And then we have the rest of our retro vehicle pictures. This is definitely a book I will be working more in. Then we get to our thank you page. Their social media. They are on Instagram, Bright Ideas Paper. Out on Amazon, Bright Ideas Paper Publishing. I will be linking this book down below in the description, as I always do. And then we do have a blank sheet at the back if you want to test your colors, what something is going to look like on this Amazon paper. So, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing this newest coloring book by Bright Ideas Paper Publishing. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. I hope everybody's having a great day. And as always, happy coloring. Bye, guys.